I never took it serious, you know, like Elisa Strata was telling me earlier. She's very famous. She's got a movie. She's got a hit TV show. She's got tons of hit records. She wakes up in the morning going, what can I do to better myself? What can I do? You know, and a lot of, as you know, I'm sure you've interviewed many people, a lot of people are like, I'm the shit because I've got a #1 record or a number 12 record. I'm number 12 on Billboard, so I'm the man. And in my camp, we don't ever take that serious. Number 12 means you gotta work harder. And #1 means you gotta work harder to get another #1. And so we got a good team. Like everybody, our support system is like, okay, Elisa's humongous and she's selling tons of records. How can we make that better? You know, and so going back to my career, it was the same way. I was doing 60,000 theaters every night and it was great, but it was, how do I become the headliner? Why am I the opening act? So you never take it serious. It's, you know, I own a nightclub in Los Angeles, and my favorite people in my nightclub are my janitors. They're 2 guys from Mexico, and they work so hard. They'll work as a busboy until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll clean it until 10 o'clock in the morning. Then they'll come to my house, and I look at those guys, and those guys are my favorite. And the reason why is because they have heart. They'll do whatever they have to do to make it happen, and they'll never like have an issue. They never have an ego, and they're such good guys. So when I have a barbecue in my house in LA, those are the first guests I have. And everybody in my company that works in my club is like, so why are you hanging with the janitors? Why is that your important thing? And I'll tell you, because those are the guys that have heart. Those are the guys that don't give a crap. You know, they're like, they're good to me and I'm good to them. And so all that other stuff is kind of out the window. Like, I kind of went on a run around, but that's kind of the gist of it is it's not serious. Like, I live in an amazing place with an amazing view, and I get to meet people like you and work with people like Elise, and I'm living the life. And whether I live it tomorrow or not, doesn't matter. I live it today.
And your international exposure, please share about your success on this level.
Oh my God, internationally, well, I mean, I get to do Lihiori, which is the biggest record of the year in Asia. She sold 8 million records, which is, thank you. You brought my place. I love you. Anyways, Boa. I mean, we did TVXQ. We've done a lot of big like Asian superstars, and they sell millions. And this is what I was telling you earlier: is it doesn't matter where you sell records or what you do, it's business. You know, so I could do a record in Asia that goes like gigantic, like more than gigantic. I don't even know the word. Huge, gigantic. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't make sense in Canada. It doesn't matter. I live in LA. So I listen to Amp and Kiss and Power. Those 3 stations, if they don't play your record, you're not famous in LA. But you still could be huge around the world. They don't care. So for me, I'm like, it's not about what you do at home.
And New School, tell us about the group and the success behind them.
Well, New School was a producer project. It's kind of a weird thing because I started the group. There was not supposed to be any faces. It was just supposed to be the new school. Like, it was like music from the old school, but about the new school. And the first single I did called Back in the Day went #1, but I didn't have a singer. So I ended up casting a singer and shooting a video, and it was a massive video and massive single for me. And then we ended up just putting out hits, and so we had a string of hits. So it was cool, and it kind of established me because I started New School independently before I had a major. Like, I obviously grew up in the major label world, but when I started New School, it was my own company. So I broke at a radio myself. I worked it. I would be in the studio until 4 or 5 in the morning, go home, get on the phone, call every radio station from city to city across the country, and I broke it. So I take great pride in New School. And the girls that end up coming in the group were freaking amazing. They're still amazing singers. And I love those girls. I love New School.
And working with the Beat 94.5, let us know the cooperation working with them.
Well, I gotta tell you that the Beat is like a rare station. You know, I've been with the Beat since the beginning of the Beat. I had the first Canadian #1 with them, you know, with New School. And I've watched them go through their growing pains. Now they're a humongous station owned by CTV, Belgo Media, and the people there are very, very cool. You know, I have a good friend of mine. He used to run the beat. His name's Chris Myers. He was the program director, and when he was the guy that flipped it from hip hop to mainstream. He got a lot of hate mail, and people were angry. And he basically said, "I need you to get 250,000 of your best friends to listen to it every 15 minutes, and then we'll play nothing but hip hop." And I got it, you know, because I mean I'm a hip hop R&B fan, but let's be honest, it's radio is about business and everything about business. So they flipped the format. They added Nickelback and all these other groups, and there was a lot of flack to it, but that's business. That's what they had to do. And I appreciate it because they still kept it real. Like, they still discovered Elisa Strata, they still discovered Evelyn, they still discovered Deja, they discover a lot of acts, and they're not afraid to add new records. They broke Lady Gaga. Did you know this? Lady Gaga broke at the Beat. That was her first station. So the Beat's not afraid to add records. And being a guy in the music business, as big as the Beat is or whatever, they'll still be the station to take a chance. And I gotta say, I love them. I mean, I do the Beat Music Awards with them every year. They come to me, and no matter what the budget is, I always say yes because they're cool with me, and they're cool people. And they really honestly believe in Canadian talent. They can't break every artist. And you know, there's a billion artists wanting to get on the radio. It's impossible to break a billion artists. But they will break as many as they can. They just need it to come from someone that can break it to the other stations. But they'll be the first. And there's not many stations that will be the first. So, the Beat, I love it.
And what has been the biggest hit that you've made so far?
The biggest hit? Oh my god. I don't even know. That's a good question. The biggest hit? Oh my god. I don't even know. Like, the biggest hit of the year or the biggest hit period?
Just the biggest hit period and for the year.
I mean, I don't know. I've been lucky. I've had a lot of equally hits, you know? I mean, it's I don't know. I mean,
do you have a few you could let people know about?
I've had a bunch of number ones. I mean, I Love You, Elisa Strata was number one. Insatiable was number one. Crush by Rosette was number one. Bianca Vegas was humongous. Ray J was humongous. Loverboy. It's hard. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of hits. You have it as a songwriter and as a producer. You have a song, and depending on the week, it's like the stock market. So you can have a song that's number 5, which is maybe more spins than your number 1, but you're on a tough week because you got number 4, 3, 2, 1 are humongous. You can't compete with those weeks. A hit song is a great song with promotion and marketing. So I don't know. I've had a bunch of lucky songs.
And do you have any new projects to add that have come out for 2010 and beyond that you have plans for?
We're doing Elisa's new album. That's going to be massive. I think it's probably the best record I've ever done. I mean, the first single you heard it tonight, You're So Hollywood, is a blatant hit. I played it for radio. We were in Toronto to do an appearance like a week and a half ago. You're So Hollywood is like, it's an instant hit. You know, it's funny, we were doing an appearance in Toronto like a week and a half ago, and I was out with my friend who runs Virgin Radio, love him, and I played him the song just to see what he thought. I didn't tell him it was Lisa, I didn't tell him anything. He's like, this is a humongous record. This is going to be the biggest record of the summer. I want to play it now. And I'm like, well, it's Canadian. He's like, he was shocked that it was Canadian. Because, you know, I work with DJ Khaled. I work with a lot of U.S. artists. He's like, it's Canadian? And I'm like, yeah, it's Elisa Strata. He's like, are you shitting me? So I told him, he's like, can I have the CD? Because the PD of Virgin is also from AMP in LA. He's like, I want to play it for him. So I let him have the CD. He calls me. I'm in LA. I'm driving down Sunset Boulevard in traffic with my drop top off my Mercedes. And he's like, I need to add this record today. And I'm like, you can't. You know, the old Elisa Strata, sure, you want to add it today, you add it because we want the spins. Now Elisa's so humongous, I'm like, you can't add it yet. We have to, like, set the promo up. And he's like, honestly, this is, like, I thought Katy Perry, California Girls was going to be the record. This is the record. I need to add it. I want to be the first. I'm like, you can be the first, but you can't add it this week. So, I mean, just to be in that position makes me feel good. And the fact that radio trusts us and loves the records. I wake up in the morning, I sit in front of some keyboards and I write songs. It's cool. It's not a bad life, you know? Like, some records sell humongous, some don't. I have favorites that didn't sell humongous.